Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. We have an interesting content for you today. We have some interviews of important people, drivers and team principals. Let's watch them and we'll give our honest opinion with my brother here.
That's the case, unless of course you adjust it in Parc Ferme. What was going on here? Is this them actually showing the FIA how you do adjust it? And
Look,
so
first
with
of all,
what tool?
every car has a tool that they can adjust the front of the bib, what we call the front of the floor being the bib. And ours is located at the front, in front of the footwell. It's been there for, I think, over 3 years. You've got to have the pedals out, other panels and pipework out in order to be able to get to it. So it's like any other adjustment on the car. It would be easier to adjust a rear roll bar than it would be to get to that component. It's all part of the packaging in the front end of the chassis.
Why did the FIA feel the need to seal it then if it's so difficult to get to?
Because I think there's been a bit of moaning from one of our rivals that, and it's the FIA's job to look into these things, and they wanted to have it's on a list of the open source components, so it's been publicly available, for, as I say, the last 3 years. The FIA are happy with it, I think, just to satisfy perhaps some paranoia elsewhere in the paddock.
Can we take our friends here in and have a look at it? Can we get in the cockpit and have a look at it?
Well, you wouldn't fit that camera in there, Martin. If you think that there's some kind of handbrake or lever that the drivers can activate with a low, medium or high setting, I'm really sorry to disappoint you. There isn't.
I don't think anybody's talking about that. Are you saying this is a completely non-story?
I feel that it's sometimes to distract from perhaps what's going on in your own house, then sometimes you try and light a fire somewhere else.
So are you saying the McLaren's got something dodgy on it? Is that what you're saying?
Well, look, there was an awful lot of noise about rear wings. The McLaren had to change their rear wing yesterday.
They say that's not the case.
Sorry?
They say that that's not the case when
really?
we've spoken to them, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, look, it's part of Formula One, and I'm sure there'll be other stuff that comes up between now and Abu Dhabi.
Why do you think the specific time to mention it to the FIA, this specific week?
Well, look, I mean, it's obvious that we're at the start of a triple header. Could have mentioned it 3 weeks ago, but I think it was a conversation that we actually had with the FIA in Singapore. And they've looked at it and they're more than happy with it. They're totally happy with it. So it's like, just to explain to the public, there's probably about 600 items on the car that are fully adjustable. Everybody can adjust these elements. What you can't do is adjust them during Parc Ferme, and that is what hasn't happened. As I say, it would be easier to adjust a floor stay or a roll bar or a push rod length than strip out the pedals. We have cameras watching the cars. We have scrutineers and witnesses watching the cars. Our car has come under more scrutiny in the last 3 years than any other car in the pit lane, so we're totally comfortable.
Do you actually have any other concerns though, that if other teams up and down the pit lane they ask for further investigations, as Zach is calling for, that absolutely you're compliant with everything, you're not being asked to change anything more than from here on in? Is it just be a case of the FIA sealing this? You don't actually have to repurpose it or repackage it?
I mean, we can seal every movable joint on the car, because Parc Ferme dictates you can't change anything, and that's what Parc Ferme is there for. We've complied with all the regulations and procedures, so more than happy with the discussions with the FIA, and what's been shown to them, they're very comfortable with.
Do you think your car was more competitive in the practice session? Do you think you're looking better here?
Yeah, look, I think that the car looks a bit more together. I think Sector 1 looks strong for us through the high-speed turns. Both drivers seem pretty comfortable with the balance there. We ran a slightly different program to the others, so we got onto the soft tyre early. With a new surface, the track was still ramping up, but the encouraging thing was the balance that the drivers were feeling was pretty together.
And then the feeling that they had, there are certain things you can adjust for qualifying that you think are going to help?
You can adjust whatever you want now.
Whether it goes in the right direction.
Until you drive down the pit lane. The only thing you can then change is the front wing level and the tyre pressure.
I wasn't even going back there.
Everything other than that.
I had moved forward.
So good. So yes, they've made some last minute adjustments. because what we have now is fixed, obviously, for the sprint race.
Very quickly, is 52 points enough for Max Verstappen to hold off the charge from Lando Norris, do you feel, in the last
Look,
6 races?
There's 6 races to go, and a couple of 3 sprint races in there as well. So there's a lot of points. There's over 180 points available. So we just always take these things just one race at a time. 52 points is a good lead, but things can change very, very quickly, and it's important for us to find the momentum and get on the front foot rather than being on the back foot.
Thanks, Christian. Thanks for coming out and talking to us. We're going to take.
Like his first part of the interview was a little bit aggressive, I think. He said directly the morning of our rivals.
Yeah, he was talking about Zach Brown.
Yeah, but I think Horner was right with the Zach Brown, because when they were talking about the rear wing of the McLaren,
He was feeling proud about it.
Yeah, and Zach was like non-stop. If he passed the test, it's legal, blah 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 blah, and they got banned. But we will see. It is going to happen.
Yeah, and that was
to Red Bull.
Red Bull is going to counterattack McLaren.
Yeah.
And the
Also,
one that's going
as we saw at the sprint qualifying, that seal didn't affect anything to Red Bull car or
nothing.
Max Verstappen's.
Even McLaren
Yeah,
was poorly.
They motivated like a hell, Red Bull.
Yeah.
Then let's go with the other interviews.
Yep.
Well, Max, massive congratulations. What's the feeling after taking that pole for sprint qualifying? Relief? Exultation?
A positive return.
What's the game plan for the rest of the weekend? Obviously, just wanting to maximize points, especially in your fight with Lando Norris for the title.
Yeah, making the car drivable and good on the tires in the race. That's for us the key.
Thank you. Well done.
He will win the sprint.
It's just fractions in it. Just talk me through how you're feeling right now, just missing out on sprint pole.
But it's great to be back in the mix again.
Where did that pace come from? Because just looking at you guys this morning, it looked like the car was a real handful.
It was definitely a handful, but I think we managed to get on top of it. We knew we had potential in the car, because I don't think we made the most of our quick laps this morning. But the car's been feeling great so far with these upgrades. It's clearly close out there, but definitely surprised ourselves a little bit with that P2.
Do you think you're in the mix for the win tomorrow?
I don't see why not, to be honest. If we manage to qualify here in second place, a couple of attempts ahead of everyone else, feeling good. I'm just excited to be back in this position. It's been a little while, and this is sort of what excites me about Formula One. It's like going out there, fighting for poles, hopefully fighting for wins tomorrow.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I don't know, you don't have no chances for tomorrow, man. Let's pass on that and wish you good luck. I don't know what to say anymore.
Cars look good today. Just how frustrated are you then to miss out on pole? Because I thought you were right in the mix.
Yeah, but we'll focus on tomorrow and try to recover some positions.
What do you think is possible in the sprint? Can you take the fight to Max in P1 and George in P2?
Max is also looking very quick for now, so we don't quite have the idea of who is going to be fast in race pace. So for now, quite a lot of question marks. So I don't have the answer to that question, but I hope that we can win that sprint race at least. That will be a good sign for Sunday.
2 words. Future champion. Move on.
At sprint qualifying, but then just got really unlucky in SQ3. Can you just talk me through what happened?
Get the upgrades and make sure that they're working, and so yeah, it's not the end of the day. Tomorrow we got another chance. So,
are you also buoyed by the trend from FP1 into sprint qualifying? Because
Max,
FP1 it looked a bit tricky to drive out there, but then you look right on it in SQ in the qualifying there.
well, I mean, we did a great job through in between to make changes to the car. And it's always a bit of a gamble because you don't know whether or not it's going to work. The ones that the changes that you make, but you hope they do. What you aim to do with them. And as soon as I got out, the car was like night and day different. So it was great work from the guys in the garage, and then with Bono and Mike, did a great job. So
Best of luck for the rest of the weekend. Thank you.
Yeah, Lewis is
Bad luck.
Yeah, he's being penalized by his team. Like, we know this. We have seen it in a lot of races. So nothing to talk about it. Like, he's just being penalized by Mercedes.
He looks like he doesn't care, you know.
He doesn't care because he knows what's happening inside, and that's why when Lewis decided to go to Ferrari, and after 2 months, then we saw Bono get a promotion being up. So that's why Bono doesn't want to work with any driver except Lewis. So that's why he clearly asked for a promotion. So they gave it to Bono, and he's upper in position. And Lewis is going to Ferrari and win the 8th championship. That's clearly the scenario. We will see it in 2025. Let's go.
Lando, P4 in sprint qualifying. How do you reflect on the session? How did it go out there?
Not very good. P4. So.
What do you put in the shockingness down to? Is it just the fact that you've got this new package and you haven't had time to dial it in? And
it's not a new package. It's pretty much the same. So.
Okay. And then what are your hopes for the sprint? Possible to move forward? Do you have any sense of the race pace?
No, not really. So, I mean, I hope to go forward. That's my plan. But on pace, I think we are where we deserve to be today. So, my plan's to go forward, but I have no idea how much we can.
Cool. That's fine.
He lost his hope for winning the championship.
P16 for Piastri? Yes, P16.
He got eliminated at
SQ3.
It was shock of the day.
And then you go complain about Red Bull. It was a really good word said by Christian Horner when he said, like, look at your front door before you come to my house.
Yeah. But everyone is looking the neighbor's door, not
their own door.
Their own doors. Yeah. It will be interesting race.
Yeah.
Let's hope to have like fight each other.
Yeah.
Many overtakes and
if Red Bull and McLaren continue this fighting, then the third one is going to be the winner.
Let's hope for you.
Yeah.
I think it's enough.
Yeah.
For today or tonight.
Yeah, it's enough. I'm exhausted. Like I'm dead. Thank you everyone for watching this video with us. Please don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. If you have something to add up, comment down below, give your opinion, and we'll see you in the next one.